campaign trail is heating up, and whilst the politicians have spent a considerable amount of time throwing barbs at each other, there was one statement that caught my attention, and that is the proposed scrapping of the competency-based curriculum. That has been the call by principals of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. In a set of tweets as well, the ANC claims that the rollout was rushed and without adequate consultation. They say that should they win the election in August, that they will scrap it. Now, depending on how you feel about the curriculum and which side you support politically, you will either agree with this or be alarmed by the statement. Granted, the curriculum has had its teething problems. Parents are still coming to terms with their increased involvement in their children's education, including the rising cost of material. Some educationists have also raised questions with the entire system itself and whether it is fit for purpose. So there are no doubt questions around it, even as we go along with its implementation. But I think it is a very important statement, considering that it is coming from one of the leading political formations in the country that stands at least some chance of winning the election in August. Also bearing in mind that 8 million children are now enrolled in this system and that the first cohort are set for a major transition into junior secondary school very soon. Millions of shillings and man-hours have been spent in building classrooms, training teachers and design of the curriculum and printing of teaching material. And this is why the proposal made at a campaign rally must not be taken lightly and must be put in context, as it has the potential to affect the welfare of millions of children. So we must interrogate a few issues. If we were to scrap CBC, what would we replace it with? Would we go back to the 844 system? Do they have a new system in mind? What does that even look like? Have they talked to experts about our education system in the country? And do they have some proposals? Proposals that we could interrogate? Considering that we have spent some time transitioning everything from our teaching material to the method of teaching and even just a general overhaul of the mindset of Kenyans, what would another possible overhaul look like? Are Kenyans ready for this? Are our school children ready? And if this second transition in as many years will happen, what is the cost-benefit analysis? Is that new education system so much better than the CBC or, say, even the previous 844, that it would make all types of sense to make such a drastic change so soon? It would be interesting to see if this matter actually makes its way into the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance when they are done with the roadside declarations, to give Kenyans enough time to interrogate the issues. Because if, as they say, CBC was hurriedly rolled out, more time would be needed to go into this than just the 5 months we have left to the general election. If it was indeed hurriedly rolled out, would the answer really lie in hurriedly scrapping it? One would imagine that a number of experts have worked for years to come up with CBC. Wouldn't any new government keen on making evidence-based decisions take time to understand their logic? Wouldn't they perhaps convene a meeting of such experts to ask the questions before scrapping anything? I know this is that season, the silly season. But for heaven's sake, we are not going anywhere. We'll still be here even after the election. So how about laying all these plans in great detail and giving us time to digest them? Issues like Baba care, social protection, economic models, they owe it to us. But a noisy rally is hardly the place to make policy pronouncements. And that's my take tonight.